So soon after your graduation, some of you may take the board exam or most of you will take the board exam. And I'm showing you on the screen the TOS or the table of specifications for the board exam for psychometrician. So after you graduate, you will take the board, psychometrician muna, kasi undergrad pa. And then, if you wish to push through with your further studies, graduate school, doon ka palang pwedeng kumuha ng psychologist board exam. If you look at it, yung ating psychological assessment, it is 40% of your actual board exam. So, yung ating apat na board exam subject na involved is psychological assessment, theories of personality, abnormal psychology, and industrial psychology. You look at it and pare-pareho yung weight ng theories of personality, abnormal psychology, and industrial psychology. But namumukod tangi yung psychological assessment. Imagine, with the exam, 150 items ng buong exam ay psychological assessment. The question now is, bakit yun yung pinakamalaki ang bearing? It's because, tama naman yung mga sagot ninyo, that it's for the assessment of the conditions of people, especially our clients. And also, when you graduate and you really embrace the psychology field, this could be your work. At ang work ng isang psychometrician o yung mga beginning psychological professional or psychology professionals is more of psychological assessment. So, dapat marunong talaga tayong mag-assess psychologically ng ating mga clients o ng ibang tao. Unfortunately, our class is only lecture. 5-unit course kasi talaga dapat ang psychological assessment. But in the department, we decided to not offer the laboratory. Bakit? Kasi yung laboratory ng psychological assessment, you will be taught on how to administer, score, and interpret psychological tests. However, that is very hard for us if we are using the online platform. So we opted to not offer first the laboratory side of psychological assessment. Sa susunod na lang siya i-offer para talagang ma-appreciate ninyo yung mga standardized tests natin na available sa campus at saka sa akin because I also purchased psychological tests. So yung atin ngayon na gagawin for the second semester is merely the lecture. Ano po yung focus nun? The focus is, from the name itself, lecture, we will be discussing concepts, principles, procedures of psychological assessment, and the end point is test development. So you will develop your test, and that would be your final output for the class. Yung scoring, or administration, scoring, and interpretation of psychological tests will be done next time. So kapag na-offer na yung ating laboratory. So I hope that you will really be serious in taking psychological assessment. And at the same time, you will really embrace the things that you have to identify or to know in the subject or the course. So those are some of the reasons why we need to study psychological assessment in our field. Aside from measuring the conditions, we cannot go away with it because it's part of the board exam. One concept that's very important to understand in psychological assessment is psychological test. When you talk about psychological test, this can be a standardized procedure, this can be a task, or this can be an examination. So let's say, for example, you are applying for a position in a job, may pinagawa sa'yo para to measure your strength, let's say, pinagbuhat ka, that alone can be considered as a test, a psychological test. A psychological test, a test will be a psychological one if it measures psychological constructs or content. Pag sinabi natin psychological construct or contents, this should measure sensitivity, memory, intelligence, aptitude, personality, and behavior per se. Soon you will be exposed to the different standardized tests, standardized psychological tests. At makikita nyo doon that it underwent a lot of process before it becomes a psychological test and before it becomes a standardized psychological test. So psychological test, again, can be a standardized procedure, it can be a task to measure ability, or it can be an examination itself. Now, there are two concepts in psychological assessment that we need to differentiate: the psychological testing and psychological assessment. When we talk about psychological testing, this is a process of measuring psychology-related variables by means of devices or procedures designed to obtain sample of behavior. Unlike psychological assessment, it is more of gathering and integration of psychology-related data for the purpose of making a psychological evaluation through the different tools. So if you read the definitions, or yes, the nature of the two, it's just simple. The only difference is that when you provide the test to your client or to people, when you give it, you administer it to them. That is psychological testing. But once that you interpret, you evaluate the answers of your clients or the answers of the person who took the exam, that is already psychological assessment. So in layman's term, very typical. Pag sinabi mong testing, nag-test ka lang. Pag sinabi mong psychological assessment, yung test na binigay mo doon sa tao, i-assess mo na, i-evaluate mo na, i-interpret mo na what are the underlying meaning of the answers ng iyong client o ng test taker. Now, there are a lot of tools for psychological assessment. So, hindi lamang yung mismong test ang pwede nating gamitin. We can also have the interview, the portfolio, the case history data. You can also observe them. I remember I took a neuropsychological exam last week, and when I answered the tests, someone is looking at me. So that's part of the psychological assessment because our behavior have connotations or have meanings. Yung behavior natin ba ay aggressive ba tayo habang nagsasagot tayo ng psychological test? Are we stressed or whatsoever? Role play can also be one tool for psychological assessment. Of course, we make use of our computer and the other equipment. Okay. There's also this term, psychometrics. Diba ang kukunin ninyong board exam after you graduate is psychometration. It derives from the term psychometrics, which is the science of psychological measurement. And the person assigned to it, of course, is a psychometrician. So a psychometrician is a professional in testing and assessment who typically holds a degree in psychology and specializes in areas such as individual differences, quantitative psychology, or theory of assessment. Kindly take note, psychometrician is a professional that knows what? Testing, so the administration of the tests, but it will not end there. There should also be assessment. So the psychometrician knows how to administer, score, and interpret the results of the test. So that is the work of a psychometrician, and the term originated from the science of psychological measurement, which is psychometrics. The law, the psychology law, states that these are the characteristics of a psychometrician. So first, he or she should be a natural person, hindi alien. Like what I said, they know how to administer and score, but only objective personality tests, structured personality tests. Hindi sila dapat nag-administer at nag-score ng projective tests. Later on, we will be discussing what are these projective tests. Ang projective test kasi level C siya in terms of psychological assessment. So, this should be administered by trained people, psychologists, and not psychometrician. But in our class, I will also expose you with the different projective tests so that you know and you are aware of these kinds of test. Ano ba example ng projective test? Pinag-drawing ka ng tao, pinag-drawing ka ng puno, pinag-drawing ka ng bahay, the house, 3 persons. And then, with the drawing, you can identify what's the unconscious of the person, what are the things or the underlying conditions of the person. That's a projective test. Kasi out of the drawing, there is a projection of what kind a person is. Ang sakop lang ng psychometrician, yung mga masasabi nating simple tests lang of personality, intelligence, those that are not that complicated in terms of administration, interpreting, and scoring and interpretation. Also, the psychometrician may conduct preparatory intake interviews for psychological intervention sessions. But all of these tasks of the psychometrician, he or she should be guided by the psychologist. So, sa field natin, dalawa yung board, psychometrician and psychologist. Nung bakit po dalawa pa? Parang yung psychometrician is just a preparatory for your psychologist board exam. And once that you have the license for psychometrician, merong limits yon since this is parang preparatory nga. So, may limits. Dapat yung mga ginagawa mo, still guided ka with a licensed psychologist. Now, these are the major landmarks in the history of psychological testing. So, the psychological testing originated from China. And the first test in China ay essay type. You try to imagine how they were able to score and interpret the test. Essay siya. So, hindi siya tulad ng mga IQ test na available ngayon, na checkan lang or meron na kagad actual na score. Dati, ang kaunahang exam sa China is the essay type. So, doon nagsimula yung context ng psychological testing. Essay type yung ginagamit in having the civil service examination for the employees. In the next year, naging modern na yung testing na na-form. And it's not just essay type, but ang focus is to know the individual differences of people. Another is Alfred Binet. Alfred Binet in the 19th century developed the first assessment procedure. Alfred Binet's first assessment procedure is an IQ test. If you are aware of the Stanford Binet IQ test, so malalaman mo doon if you are superior, average, borderline, and the like. So IQ test yung kanyang na-develop in the 19th century. And then in the 20th century, this time, it's not just about purely assessment. Meron na ring application of different approaches in psychology, psychoanalysis, the unconscious. So siguro nagsimula na dito yung mga projective tests, no, yung mga progressive personality assessment na hindi na lang very distinct yung sagot at ito na yung ibig sabihin, pwedeng nag-drawing nga lang. And then you will know the personality of the person. 1940s to 1950s, the importance of statistic emerged in psychological testing. Kaya dapat you are also reviewing psychological statistics kasi that played a vital role in assessment. Soon we will have statistical refresher. You will know how to compute for reliability coefficient, validity coefficient, confirmatory analysis. All of those require statistics. Hindi makakapag-come up sa isang standardized test kung hindi ito nag-compute for statistics. Okay. 1960s to 21st century, there is the improvement of the quality of tests due to the advent of computer. So kung dati, manual lang yung ating testing, this time, there is already an aid of the computer in administration, scoring, and interpretation. Kaya lang, what happened when the computer became popular, parang lahat nilalagay na doon, laging online na siya lahat. Meron ngang before na kumalat na standardized psychological test na Rorschach sa Facebook. And then when I opened it, sabi ko, ganito na lang siya binibigay and na-abuse yung test. Because this is a standardized projective test. Binabayaran yon, ang laki ng bayad sa mga standardized test. Pero makikita mo lang siya online. And the question is, how sure are you that the scoring and interpretation of your answers are correct because you don't know who scores, who interprets your answers. Kasi dapat ito ay hindi sa computer ginagawa. Dapat ito ay face-to-face ginagawa. You have your psychologist with you and then they will administer the test. And then at present, there are a variety of tests throughout the society that has been used. There are a lot. Meron na rin tayong mga Filipino tests available in the market. It depends on the culture of a certain community or society, kung ano yung tests na ibibigay. Later, we'll have the discussion of culture and assessment. How is it important, the culture in assessing, in testing? Okay. So these are some of the landmarks in the history of psychological testing. There are a lot of people pa who played a vital role in psychological testing. But that would be your first outcomes-based assessment. So you have to research on yung iba pa na pioneers or people who contributed much in the history of psychological tests. So you have to come up with a one-page concept map about the history of psychological tests. There are a lot. Kanina, ang nabanggit ko lang is si Alfred Binet, but there are a lot more of people who contributed in psychological test or assessment. Okay? Now, so what I'm trying to say kanina, culture is very important in assessment because the behavior of a person is being affected by the culture that he or she has. The beliefs, the language of the person, the values of the person, all of those has something to do or have something to do with culture. And the way they answer a specific test or the way they answer a specific questions may be affected by the culture that they have. So what are the evolving interests in culture-related issues? According to Henry Goddard, he actually asked questions on the various cultural and language background. There are times kasi na you are taking a test. Let's say you are a Filipino. So you are well-versed in terms of the Filipino language. You know how to speak in English, you know, you understand English, yet there are certain limitations because hindi ka naman American or ang ating national dialect ay Filipino. So once that you answer a certain test in English and there are words that are not that easy to understand, what happens is that the answering of the test will be affected. Hindi mo kasi naintindihan yung word. So nung pumili ka sa choices, kung ano na lang yung alam mo, kahit hindi mo sure kung yun nga ba yung sagot. You get what I mean? It's because of the language, the background. Hindi ko kasi naintindihan so basta ko na lang siya sinagutan. And then eventually, that would have an effect on the scoring of the test. Let's say, for example, I have a test on ability or general knowledge, let's say. But the questions has something to do with the president of the Republic of China. Of course, you cannot answer that very well. It's because you are not Chinese. And what more kung yung exam naka-translate into different strokes or letters like Nihongo, naka-hiragana yung test. Of course, you cannot answer that. And that will result on the difficulty or difference on the scoring and interpretation of the test. So meron tayo kasing mga tinatawag na culture-specific tests. Since culture nga plays a vital role in assessment. So dapat pala pag nagbibigay tayo ng mga tests, we have to assess the test that we are going to administer. Ito ba ay kayang sagutan ng mga tao na bibigyan ko ng test? Ito ba ay very culture-based or meaning merong bang mga questions doon sa test na for a certain culture lang or pwede siya in general? Okay. Another issue, the nonverbal communication and behavior conflict on interpretations of nonverbal behavior. We have to very cautious of this kasi may iba't ibang meanings yung ating nonverbal communication. Bowing is a sign of respect, but to other countries, it's different. Sa Japan, that's really a sign of respect. Pero if you look at the other countries, ano kaya yung meaning nila doon? The signs that we use, the peace sign that we have, hindi natin alam, peace sign to sa atin, sa ibang bansa, it connotes different things. So there are conflicts as to the nonverbal communication that would affect the behavioral observation. And behavioral observation has something to do also with your assessment. And then the standards of evaluation, psychological traits are culturally relative to societal standards. Societal standards are still part of the culture, kung ano yung na-experience sa isang lugar, nakaka-apekto siya, kung paano magsasagot ang isang tao sa test, o kung paano niya ire-represent yung sarili niya, let's say, sa isang objective test. Next, tests and group membership. Tests can be administered individually or by group. And you have to look at whether these tests can be administered individually or by group. Yung mga IQ tests, of course, we can administer that by group kung ibibigay mo lang naman yung standardized test. But there are certain tests that cannot be administered by group. Let's say, ano ba? Ang hindi mo pwedeng ibigay na may mga IQ tests na hindi mo pwedeng ibigay by group kasi baka marinig niya yung sagot, verbal pala yung IQ test. So, yung susunod, malalaman na niya kung ano yung sagot o tamang sagot doon sa iyong itinanong. So, you have to consider individual and group testing. Affirmative action creates equal opportunity with neutral regard to ethnicity or gender. And the psychology tests and public policy protection from the misuse of data in informative relative to the results. Later, we will be discussing the major limitations of the tests. May mga tests na na-abuse because we just give it to people. We just give it to either male or female or regardless of the ethnicity that they have. Pero hindi natin alam, hindi pala dapat basta na lang ibinibigay yung test dun sa mga tao. There are a lot of things that we have to protect and there are a lot of things that we have to consider.